Hello, everyone. Thank you for returning. For those who are new, welcome. I truly do appreciate the energy that you bring to this experience. So please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment. It really does help get these messages to the collective. And as always, use discernment. I'm not a professional, licensed professional. So take only what resonates and always seek expert advice in medical, financial, and legal matters. Um, but I will begin here. I have someone here. We have the maiden, the creator, the judge, and the healer. And this is really showing a maturity, right? Someone who is coming in to maturity spiritually, right? Who has really found the source of that inner judge, that inner critic, who has maybe even changed the way that they judge the world within and without. A lot of times in this maiden energy, it can be a very materialistic time in our lives. And then we come into this place where we really tap in to the flow, right, of that creator within. And we recognize that true wealth, true abundance comes from within, right? That you really cannot judge a book by its cover, though I feel like this is someone who has been judged pretty harshly because we have an energy down here that is disturbed at the liveliness of this maiden energy and totally shocked at the flow that is coming and moving through them, that is within them, right? And it's leaving this terrified energy of this true victory, right? This is the inner judge that has been healed, right? That part of us that may judge others, even punish others through ridicule, right? Who may laugh at the downfall of others. Um, you know, I feel that there has been quite a humbling here, right? And that it is actually producing another humbling, right? It's like a humbling with a humbling. I feel like whoever this is has probably come from a place where they may have judged wealth, right? Or judged the a book by its cover at one time, and then they learned how to read, right? They learned how to slow down, how to have patience, how to read the inside of that book and enter the flow, right, of the creator, of love, the one that sees beyond the veil of all the shiny objects around us, right? And it may have taken a humbling spirit experience to bring us there, but we have been able to heal that inner judge here, to find that true discernment that does not condemn, right? It is a non condemning energy, although I'm really not sure what we have going on here. Um, It's almost like someone, you know, totally shocked at the terror of it all. Very disturbed, I mean, this life force, look at this little guy. Like, I think everybody needs him at their table this year, right? Like, he's just electric. He is might have the shoes on the wrong feet, right? But he is going places. It really is going places. Very jubilant, very cheerful, very lively energy. And that energy can be quite triggering, right? Just in our presence, it can trigger some, it can disturb the distorted energies around us and the source of those distorted energies. But this is someone who really went within, right? Tapped into that source within, that creator within, and has learned how to tap into its flow and heal that inner critic. So, confidence may have been something that really was lacking at one place. This can also, it's like, have this divine maiden, right? She's growing up, she's getting wise, right? And we have this victory. This may be justice, divine justice, right? Divine justice coming through for the healer. Maybe one who was judged harshly on their, based on their past, based on their youth, based on those times where you just didn't know what you didn't know, right? Or based on those times where maybe you didn't have what others thought you should have in order to be successful. Like there are just some that base their judgments of wealth and prosperity based on how many houses or how many children or how many cars or what size is your bank account, that sort of thing. And it's like, this little guy here has found that place within himself where all the abundance he ever needs is right there inside his own heart. And he is really feeling like he's moving from this place of being the student of the divine feminine, right? Like I see the maiden that is like the daughter of the divine feminine, but it's like she's growing now. She's tapped into that source within, healed that inner judge, and can actually be stepping forward very successfully, very victoriously as a healer herself, right? So it is that maturation that's taking place. But let's get a couple of tarot cards real quick, see what we can bring forward. I'm hearing no more dipping your toes in the water. No more dipping your toes in the water. No more standing on the sidelines. It's time to go all in on whatever fulfills you, right? Yeah, this can really be moving. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I sit back in my office. A lot of times I just sit back in the chair and I kind of meditate on the cards and I forget to show you. Maybe one day we'll change our setup a little bit where you can see everything. So we have our Knight of Tokens in reverse here, right? It can be a time of instability, right? Of irresponsibly handling those items, right? Those things that we can see, feel, hear, and touch. Really irresponsibly handling that maiden within, right? That child within, that curious nature within, mishandling that creation, the creator. It can be a misuse of power, actually, an irresponsible use of that spiritual energy, right? That inner judge. Yeah. And it may be, yeah, it's definitely, well, the next card here. This is the Emperor. It's, and it's upright. It's the divine masculine. Um, yeah, the divine masculine protects and provides. He embodies wisdom, order, and service to others. So this can really be misjudging someone. It can be an irresponsible use of authority, of leadership, of power, right? Of that creative source within, right? Of the judge within. It can be an injustice in the justice system, right? But this is almost an injustice when it comes to divine law, right? It's like there was some divine law that was really mishandled very irresponsibly. And then I have judgment right behind it. Says it's time to take responsibility for past actions and recognize how they have shaped your presence. And someone is really shocked, really shocked. Let me see what else I can get. Mm. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Let me. All right, so I will take them all. It just might take a minute. So this is our Page of Pentacles. This really here is someone who is learning some facts. There's some evidence that is coming forward, maybe based on the misuse and the irresponsibility of the authority figures in our lives, right? That these authority figures are now being called under judgment. This is divine judgment, right? This is a divine law that has been misused and mishandled by someone here. And it looks like there is some evidence, some knowledge, right? Some tangible evidence that may be coming forward about that. Okay. Spiking a little long. All right. All right. So this is learning about, this is learning responsibility for our actions, for our thoughts, for our beliefs, for the way we judge one another and the way we judge ourselves. Those things that have not been spoken of. I'm making room here. We've got a lot of major arcana. I don't really want to dig too deeply into it all. Do I have another card? Yeah, I've got one more card behind this. My God. Okay. This authority figure may even be disturbed and shocked when they learn what's coming out about this misuse and this mishandling. I don't know how really to make this happen. Because justice is here. This is someone who is really terrified of the evidence that is being brought forward. This is a leader who may even be a spiritual leader or someone who claims that they're being spiritually guided, and yet mishandling, that could be mishandling funds, that can be mishandling their power, right? It can be mishandling and manipulating the justice system itself, right? Having done things that, in the dark, truly that were meant to bind um, others, you know, the lies, the deceit. It looks as though it's almost like it's whatever was done in the dark, even if it began as a spiritual misuse, right? They've broken some divine law here. But yet I have someone here, right, who is very lively, who's in the flow. And this also means victory, for this healer. The one who has healed the judge within. Looks like they have been misjudged in some way. This may be someone who, you know, they have their own obsessions, their own addictions. This is like divine justice. This is like karma coming in for those things which were done in the dark. And I feel like it's not just, oh God, I don't want to say that, but I don't feel like it was just things that were said, right? I don't think that it was just laughing at someone behind the scenes, right? It may have started out as that. It may have started out as what they thought was just an innocent um joke, or I don't know. I don't think this was ever a joke. Honestly, what I'm feeling here, there's physical evidence of it. It may have started just wishing and hoping, right? It's like an authority that wished and hoped, and then just finally took action. And that action was, I mean, it was not in line with true justice. Um, Definitely a misuse of power to bind, to control, silently behind the scenes. So, this is someone who has been working out of the public eye, right? They may be recognized as some sort of spiritual um, guru or creator or leader or influencer of some sort. They may even be young, right, in age in comparison, or it may just be that they're older in age and they're just immature, very immature with the way that they handle the power and authority or the position of leadership that they have found themselves in. And they have obviously judged some things very harshly here and taken action on it at some point to bind and disillusion. They're like disillusioned also. It's like someone who becomes like they've let the power go to their head, right? Like they've let the gifts that they have been given go to their head. It's almost like that God complex type of energy where they may have gotten away with it in the past, but they've been at it for so long now that the creator, right? The divine is stepping in and bringing justice. And that may not actually be seen either, right? that might be something that we learn of, right? So there may be some of us that come into some knowledge or some evidence of what has actually taken place here and how it has affected us, right? Possibly physically, possibly financially. Um, this guy, he knows what's coming, though. How he knows, it may just be a feeling, but he's really terrified. This is something that this leader does not want coming to the surface, but it's coming. It's coming. And it's going to bring some healing and some victory. It's like this guy here, terrified of this victory. This guy here, disturbed by the liveliness, the life, right? So it's almost like we have someone who is in this lively energy. They may have actually stumbled upon this or been victim. I don't like saying victim, but I mean, they may have been victim to this type of mishandling, right? They may even be young. This may be someone young who went through this. But that creator flow, like I don't even want this person down here like this. This is that creator flow, right? We'll do that. This is the victory here with the healer. Wish I had a little more space to show these, but we know this is the maiden, the creator, the judge, and the healer. So, someone who was probably very youthful, right? Very vibrant, very lively, that could just take on the world, right? Um, who has grown wise, who has really tapped into the flow of that inner judge. It may have been even your intuition, right? It may have been messages that you received from the divine, and you may actually have a feeling or a suspicion of what this is. You've just had no evidence of it, right? And so you've kind of had to move in silence, just, not saying everything that you see, but in that, right? In tapping into that inner creator, right? And checking your own inner judge and using wisdom and your discernment, you have become victorious over whatever this was. Like I hear, like that's the evil plan. Like it's like I don't know what has been down here. I don't know how it's shown up for everyone, right? But whatever it is, this person here has truly not allowed it to stop them from being the loving, kind, generous, wise soul that they are. It really hasn't tainted your spirit. um it looks like what was meant to destroy you, right, has really brought you up to a whole new level, who has really is bringing victory to you. And then, wow, you know this is really um you know bringing in that true value. This may have been mishandling of funds. It may have been a mishandling of physical, right? Items, those things we can see, feel, hear, and touch, that legacy energy, right? Um, Mishandling of a lot of money, right? So, or the build up of illusions around this money. It may be money that is hidden, right? That maybe you didn't even know about. Maybe you had a suspicion, but you didn't let it stop you. Like there was no facts. But this is really bringing in justice. We're going to do like this real quick because this can actually be a judge in the justice system, especially those two cards there. And with judgment, yeah, this is someone who is, if they're not already, they're going to find themselves, um, you know, facing that divine judge within and without. Um, and this is really bringing forward, um, restoration. It's like money being restored, inheritances being restored, wealth being restored. Um, those things that we did not see, right? This could be extreme bondage, right? This could have been done out of anger and revenge, even. But it is bringing in excitement, rejuvenation, restoration, right? This is, I don't know, you may have, because this is someone who's also gone within and done a lot of healing work, right? A lot of meditative work. They've really gone in for their answers. This is being in stillness until you hear the voice of the divine within you. This could have been a physical injury. Um, but it is bringing a very successful healing. So whatever injury there was is bringing in healing. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, this might have been some who were bickering over, you know, finances. This may have been someone who really misused and more than one. I'm not going to lay these right here, but generosity, bickering, and hoarding, right? It's like I it's like bickering family members, right? It's like a team at work that was given a job and they did a great job, and you've got another team, like bickering behind the scenes, right? This is this is fighting over money. It's hoarding money. It's greed. It's really, it may have even caused some financial losses. If it hasn't caused financial losses yet, it is about to for this one here. Sometimes justice doesn't come the way we expect it to, right? Like those karmic laws. But it's like whatever was taken, whatever was gained unjustly, whatever was done, like it's coming back full force. I hear this is reaping what you sow for this person, for this misuse of power and authority. Someone is being called to judgment, divine justice. They're being called to recognize and accept the consequences of their own actions, the responsibility that they took. Yeah, this is someone here who has really had to surrender, right, to the power and the source within. Um, and this is really bringing public victory, triumph, recognition. Yeah, yeah. That's someone who really took a pause, took a breather, who's been very patient, who has had their world turned upside down. Their perception of things has been completely changed. No wonder they're feeling so lively, right? Um, really stepping into the sun, allowing themselves to. This is someone who created joy and happiness where joy and happiness did not exist. They've had to let go of the need to see justice, to see karma. Um, and that might be exactly what has brought this justice in, because this flow, right? This is everything coming to the light. And this is, whatever these third parties were doing, it's all coming out into the light. It's like there was a group that planned and plotted and schemed out of greed, possibly out of revenge, right? Whatever it was became an obsession and a misuse of power, and it has led to their destruction. And there's really not a whole lot that they can do about that, is what I'm hearing. So, for our little lively guy up here, I would say, yes, it is truly time to celebrate. It is, your day in the sun. Divine justice has come forward and spoken. Um, I feel like this, tower is really going to shake some foundations, right? It is really going to bring it down. I feel like even the cornerstones will not be standing on this one. No wonder this guy here is shocked at the evidence that's coming out and terrified of the healing that has been done, of those things which have come to light, of this good news. We may be hearing some very good news in the way of that legacy, right? Those material structures that have been put in place, those materials and resources that have been misused, hoarded away out of greed. That is all about to be revealed. And I feel it's really going to bring restoration of that legacy, of that foundation, whether it be your finances, your resources, relationships. you know um, this could be something that really kind of wipes away your debt, right? It brings in that wealth that comes from the ancestors, right? It's like someone who came into a position of power and authority and was given the keys to the vault, and all of a sudden got this God complex, right? Like they built it, right? But this was not built by one. It takes a team, it takes more than one to build something that lasts for generations, right? None of us can say once we've hit that level of success and something that goes on and on and on, even after we leave this life and move to the next, right? It takes more than one to secure that. It takes more than one to anchor that kind of light into physicality in a way that it cannot be destroyed. And it's as if some came in, or one, a team of sorts came in and said, yeehaw, and just has wreaked havoc, right? And those facts may not quite be visible yet. They may be to some in some arenas, like in the back end, I'm hearing, but it is about to be brought forward in such a way that it is going to be recognized by many. This can really be a time where boundaries have needed to be put in place also, right? Someone is going to have a public reckoning, I hear. Um, and it's going to bring victory and success and healing. And that might even come in the form of the justice system. But this is truly Source Creator calling that inhumanity into judgment, on the behalf of humanity, that purity, that youth, right? That healing, love, and kindness. So I'm not going to stay on that a whole lot longer. I'm going to leave it here where it's at. I don't really like to dig too deeply into these things, especially on this channel. Not that it's dark. I mean, this is absolutely fantastic news. I can feel the excitement and the exuberance. This is like Mother Earth, the divine feminine herself, smiling and feeling very happy about what is coming to light. This disturbed, shocked, terrified energy down here, you know, you get what's coming to you. It's that reap what you sow moment. And what may have started out as just a jolly interest really broke some universal, like some divine laws, and end up manifesting as a real, tangible injustice in the physical. And it did cause some injury and some loss, but that is being restored and healed, like it or not, down here. It's things coming to light, and Source really stepping in and saving the day. I feel it's like this has been a long time coming. Some may have felt it coming, may have felt like an impending doom almost, because to this energy here, it is impending doom. But at the same time, it It is victory, right? It is success. It is celebration. It is divine justice, divine intervention, stepping in and saying no more. Um, whew. Okay. Yeah. So it's source energy. These are some affirmations. I'm going to speak them. You can stop, rewind, pause, whatever. I'll try to show them on the screen. If you want to take a screenshot, use them for positive intentions throughout the day. Sometimes I write little things like this on cards, put one on my mirror, maybe one on the steering wheel in the truck, maybe another tucked away in my purse, or, kind of hide them around in places. I used to do that quite often. I think I might get back into it. Or even light a candle. So we have source energy here. I don't know. Let's see if I can hold this still long enough, right? No, it's just not wanting to show up this camera, right? I'll read it. Okay. It says, I, the boundless source of all creation, flow through you as a river of light, raising your vibration and the frequency of divine oneness. Yes, what was maybe intended for one, right, has affected all. Okay. And so it's really showing us the oneness. Source is really coming forward and saying, this is bringing that justice for all. It says, I send love to my past, present, and future selves, unifying all aspects of my soul in sacred harmony. Yes, this is coming into oneness. It is coming into alignment with that that divine source within us. And it says, I choose to leave a positive imprint of light in the world through my thoughts, words, and deeds, right? So it's really attuning to the divine. It is speaking life into existence, right? Into those people, places, and things around us, speaking life into our body, our mind, our heart, right? It's really, bringing that source energy into being. And this is also that light code, right? It is that diamond white light that is coming into the core, the crystalline core of Mother Earth, and reverberating and vibrating. And so being open, being in that place of oneness and flow is really going to allow us to bring all of those chakras into alignment. This is like that upgrade, right? It is that level up. It is that divine DNA, that divine blueprint coming in and being grounded. And when that happens, it is going to cause a shaking and a rumbling and exposure, right? Possibly even what some may perceive as a divine reckoning, right? A public reckoning for the injustices, the misuse of power, and such. And so these light codes that are coming in are really affecting every aspect of life. And we're having to let go of that old way of acting and doing things in the dark, being able to do something in the dark and then portray something that looks like light. That way is going to, it's coming to an end. Right. There's coming enough light that a lot of that deceit, a lot of that bondage, and that misuse is going to be seen. It says, I am attuned to timelines beyond my current reality, allowing me to receive divine insight from the eternal now. This is definitely being present, right? It is tapping into that now moment. It is that knowing that you know, that you know, that you know, and there is nothing that convinces you any other way. This is the energy that says, I rise above, I transcend all of this. I am here for the humanity, or for the better good or betterment of humanity, for the highest good of humanity of all, and really being present in that moment and calling forth that light and anchoring it in our life in whatever way, shape, or form that has taken place for each of us, right? It's going to look a little different. But for those who are doing the work, it's really changing the foundations and the structures that have been built up, you know, in silent and wrapped in illusion. Um, it's like claiming that there's a foundation when really it's nothing. It's just a bunch of rubble. Um, but it's all coming out into the light, and it's just remaining present, remaining in that now moment, staying in tune, right, with your inner judge, using that discernment, allowing spirit to tell you what is and what is not, and allowing that energy to flow from you, through you, to help heal, right? Because this may leave some a bit terrified and a bit afraid, and they may be looking for that divine leader, right? Like this may be those who put their money and their faith and their trust and everything they had in this leader, um, realizing and recognizing that, oh my God, what have I done? What have I supported? Where do I go? Right. And so they're going to need that healing, that love, that gentle touch, that part of us that sees through the skin, that reads past the book of the cover, that has learned to read inside the book and to see the true value and the true sustenance of another. So it's really staying in that present moment. This can also be some who have brought this forward intuitively. Maybe you knew intuitively, you had some feeling, now it's here, and it's like you're just totally shocked at how much you really knew, right? Or shocked at how much you really did not know. So again, I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to hang out here too long. I love you all. I thank you so much for spending your time here with me. I now return your energy to you, pure and whole, as I receive my energy back to me, pure and whole, to leave only that which is love and light in its place. And may you all go in love and gratitude and peace.